I shouldn't be surprised. We shouldn't be surprised. But yet, I am surprised. Somehow I'm still finding a way to be surprised by Red Bull's antics. Welcome everyone to yet another Tommo's Race Chinwag. Because there's more impromptu news. And they've only gone and done it. I've not photoshopped this up. That is the new logo for the Visa CashApp RB Formula One team. Roll intro. Oh, that wasn't as seamless as it should have been. I'm I don't know. I'm lost for words. Look, first thing I'm going to do, big up Nate Saunders, good pal of mine. It's official. AlphaTauri have been named to Visa CashApp RB. Internally, the team is being referred to as VCarb. 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 That sounds like a supplement. They're literally calling this team VCarb. What are we going to call this team? Like, I'm calling I'm calling steak Sauber because I don't like steak, the company. And I mean, I've got nothing against payment providers, right? But what are we going to call it? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? What are you, Red Bull, you're meant to be marketing geniuses here. But this isn't it. That, listen, you can check this out on audio-only platforms, of course, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, but you're not here for me to shill the audio-only version. You're here to see this absolute... I can't believe they've actually called it this. Visa CashApp RB. And I have not seen anything to clarify whether RB stands for Racing Bulls or Red Bull. It's just RB. Wingy, what is this Pez team, mate? This is straight out of Pez. All right, this is a Pez classic. Visa CashApp Toro Rosso would have been a great name. Would it though, Aziria? Would it though? Like, okay, you want to integrate title sponsors into the name of your team. I get that. I understand. Okay. In the past, you had, because not only have we lost, well, AlphaTauri. Look, it passed for me. I think it was abstract enough of a name. Yes, it was a clothing brand, but it's their own clothing brand and they created a name. And you know what? I came to not love AlphaTauri, but acknowledge it. And it felt like, okay, yeah, that feels like an F1 team name. At least like keep the Scuderia Visa. Scuderia Visa are like them. I don't know. I don't know. But this is not it. This is not it. Piemonte Calcio. Oh, Howler P. I know, mate. I know. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they've actually, even though we saw the Instagram rebrand and now it's gone back to AlphaTauri and all their socials still say AlphaTauri. They've not been very... It feels like the marketing departments are not communicating because their Twitter is still AlphaTauri. Yeah. Look, what I will say, this bright blue with a bit of green and white can have some good fun with the livery design. I could definitely have some good fun with the livery design on this. But, like, what literally, what are we going to call it, right? Again, like, people are going to call Sauber Steak, right? Whatever, okay? It's not a great name because it's just a, stupid gambling company. But at the end of the day, it's, okay, people are going to call it Steak. Some people are going to call it Sauber, whatever. What are we going to call this? Again, internally, they're going to be, that's an advert for a Kia, because I've gone off of Nate Saunders' tweet. So let me find Nate Saunders' tweet again. Shout out Brandon Sieber, by the way. Where are you? Yeah, here we go. There we go. This is Nate Saunders' tweet. It's official. AlphaTauri has been renamed to CashApp RB. Internally, the team is being referred to as VCarb. V carb. What? V carb? You don't even. I don't know. I don't know. What have we got? What suggestions? Come on, because look, I'm all for complaining, right? I'm all for complaining, but if you had to, you've got to get Visa and Cash App into your team name, your official team name. Because again, look, Alpine last year, their official team name and their official team name next year is, well, yeah, I think it is next year as well, is BWT Alpine. Now, no one says the BWT part because you just say Alpine, okay? And we all collectively agree on that. We just say Alpine. And if there's a solution like that, then fair enough. I'm just going to call them Racing Bulls. Scuderia Visa, Cash App Formula One. It's so like Visa and Cash App affiliated, by the way. Are they like connected? But yeah, I do think I'm just going to call them. I don't know, I feel like Racing Bulls I didn't hate. Like I thought Racing Bulls was alright as a modern adaptation of your Toro Rosso. Calling it Racing Bulls, something a bit different. VCR players. Blue Bulls. You could call them Blue Bulls. I mean, you would be entitled to call them Blue Bulls. Yeah, because the main Red Bull, I mean, that navy that they use, that kind of purpley navy, is so dark. It's so dark. It almost looks black a lot of the time. Blue Bulls. Like, I'm genuinely I'm thinking what I'm going to call them. Toro Rosso was perfect. Never thought I'd be nostalgic of that. Visa F1 team. I mean, look, you had Aston Martin, Ramco, Cognizant. Like, having the title, you can get away with having the title sponsor ahead of the actual team name, like with Alpine. Because the order doesn't really matter too much when you've got, if this was Visa Cash App Racing Bulls, we would all just call it Racing Bulls, If it's Visa, if the RB is standing for Red Bull, then obviously we can't call it Visa. We can't just call it Red Bull because there's already a Red Bull. Scuderia RB. I feel like I'm just going to call them Racing Bulls. I think I'm just going to call them Racing Bulls. I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm not saying they're genuine. Scuderia. Blue Bulls. Or maybe just Blue Bulls. Blue Bulls cash. Just sell the David, just sell the at this point, Red Bull, if you're going to do this nonsense with the team, just sell it. Just sell it to Mario, right? Just sell it to the Andretti's and just move on. Because, this is just foolishness, okay? This is foolishness. It's not... people... the lockup, the way they've designed the lockup is... the ball with the RB behind it, that bit's kind of cool. Also, Visa's going to be sponsoring on this car and on the actual Red Bull. They're going to be... they're a sponsor partnership for both. Just sell the team, man. Just jack it in. All right. It's been too much. It's been too much. Okay. Oh dear. It's an example of the sorry state F1 is quickly moving to. Look, I think F1 has always been, money talks at the end of the day. I wonder how much of this is almost a vein of marketing where you do like anti-marketing and you come up with something really bad, but because it stands out, ultimately, as the doorbell just goes, hopefully Hannah can get that. I don't know what they're doing here. I really don't. I'm not quite sure what they're playing at, but maybe it's that. Maybe that's the logic behind it. Thank you, Mr. Coupler. I think Mr. Coupler super chats. Thank you, Steve, for the €2. Next, ramen noodles F1 and soft toilet paper F1. Look, Andrex, if you're interested, let's get it done, you know? Andrex F1 team. Love it. And thank you, Ethan, as well. Why not have it as Racing Bulls Visa, kind of like Lola MasterCard from 96? Surely that would have been better than this monstrosity. Well, look, again, if they'd have called it Red Bull Racing Bulls officially, if they'd put Racing Bulls in the name, we would all just call it Racing Bulls. In the same way that we all just call Alpine Alpine and not BWT Alpine. So I guess what they're hoping to do here is by doing it like this, it forces us to just call it the Visa CashApp F1 team. Like Visa CashApp. That's what obviously they're hoping, right? That's what they're hoping for. But I'm not falling for your tricks, Red Bull. I'm not falling for that, all right? Don't let them get you with that, because I'm not calling it Visa CashApp. Oh, there's a Visa CashApp. Shut up. No, I'm sorry. That is awful. That's not happening. That's what they want to happen, but that's not what I'm going to be calling them anyway. Can we just call it Toro Rosso? Yeah, it almost does make me, Rainer, want to just revert back. I guess we will see in time, won't we? Because we'll be talking about these a lot now, as the season's slowly coming closer. So I guess we'll just default into whatever we call them. Say, I know I'm calling Sauber in all my graphics, because I'm not interested in promoting the company that title sponsors that team in any way, shape or form. And in this instance, it's just clumsy. I mean, they're literally calling it VCARB. VCARB internally. Oh, I work for the VCARB Formula 1 team. Shut up. Maybe we'll end up calling it VCARB, to be fair. Maybe we will. Yeah, I think I want to come away from this stream, this little impromptu, little mini live podcast, with my suggestion to try and appease, I guess, all involved. But at the end of the day, you're not going to force people to call it Visa CashApp, like the Visa CashApp car. Like, I don't think there's any point, like, really pushing for that. So even if they called it, even if they led it, Visa CashApp Racing Bulls, okay? Visa CashApp Racing Bulls can be their official name, like BWT Alpine is Alpine's official name, but we will all just call it Racing Bulls. Because actually, I'm quite open to Racing Bulls. I quite like it. I've got there in the end. But yeah, so I'll probably just call it that, to be honest. I'll probably just call that. Article from F1 says they'll be known as RB. But we always refer to, like, I refer to Red Bull as RB a lot. Like, mainly written, I suppose. There's the RB. No, it's just, that's confusing. That is confusing. That's not it. Cash me outside. Racing Bulls. Will the livery be blue? Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I am positive about. I think there's a really strong, good potential colour palette here if they're going to utilise this bright blue with a little bit of green and the white as well. CashApp's still a title sponsor, so there should be a good chunk of green on it, which is nice. That's going to be a nice, fun one to redesign, which... Speak of the devil, speaking of redesign, because I'm not going to carry on for too much longer because we've basically covered everything. I was planning, and I may still put it live at 2. But as you all well know, I'm sure you all well know, that every year I like to redesign all of the 2020, well, it's 2024 now, obviously, F1 liveries. And McLaren obviously launched theirs out of nowhere. And I have done my redesign, and the video is almost complete. I was literally in the middle of editing it, and I'll just post the promos that I was going to post it live at 2, and then this happened. But I think I should still be able to get it live at 2. Good to see you back, DH, being negative in the comments. All love. And yeah, so keep an eye out for this. Juicy thumbnail popping up on your YouTube. I reckon I should be able to get it live for 2 still. So yeah, give that a watch when it's ready. And we're done. Thank you very much for coming along. Hope you enjoyed this little impromptu live stream. Not much more to say really, because they've literally just shown us a logo. So I can only talk so much about a logo. But it is the logo's but the name is terrible. It's awful. I'll be calling them racing balls, I think. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming. Appreciate you all. Have a good day wherever you are in the world. 2 p.m. UK time, so about an hour, 15 minutes. I should have the video ready. Oh, and thank you, Mac, as well, for the super chat. At this rate, we'll get OnlyFans F1 before Andretti. There is OnlyFans. I think OnlyFans sponsor like a GT car, don't they? I'm sure I've seen pictures of that. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you, Will.i.am as well. Tommo, the new intro is fire. The name is terrible. Couldn't agree more. Thank you, Leon, Joe, Samuel, Gregory, Magic, Jack, Patrick, Secret One, Captain, Road Rage, Taz, Shapang, Filippo, Matteo, Piers, George, Matthew, Charlotte, Rayner, Charmander, Gregory, Ali, Danny, Hangyon, Wingcap, Laura, Sam, Yasser. And I'll see you all very soon. 2 p.m, hour and 10 minutes. McLaren redesign. Make sure you watch it, or I'll be really upset. Bye.